Hello and welcome to RosaryMeds podcast audio. Remember, a rosary a day helps keep the devil away. So in today's episode, I want to talk about establishing a daily prayer routine. This is my most recent article on RosaryMeds.com, and it's an important one. As we get back into fall, for a lot of us, it means school again. It means sending our kids off to school, whether that's grade school or high school or even college. But fall is usually, at least I associate fall with return from school, end of summer. And in the summer, things are kind of relaxed. There's not really a schedule or a routine to the day. But as we get back into school, it's important to start establishing school routines again. So my kid's principal sent out an email and a newsletter about the importance of getting into routines, getting into wake up routine and getting ready for school routines, following school rules and guidelines, routines for homework, routines for school after school activities and sports, and routines for bedtimes. And he stressed the importance of establishing those routines and sticking to those routines, that the kids are going to be happier, they're going to be less stressed, there's going to be less anxiety, parents are going to be happier when we all stick to routines and schedules. And we all know this intuitively. We all know how stressful it is when you oversleep or you miss breakfast, or if you're used to working out in the morning and you skip it for whatever reason. That when we get off script or we get out of our routine, it makes the whole day seems to get thrown off. I was just talking to coworkers who their sleep schedule got thrown off for one reason or another, and just talking about how that cascades the entire day. It just throws the entire day out of balance. So establishing routines and sticking to those routines is important, not just for children, not just for school kids going to school, but for adults going to work, doing things around the home. And it's important to have a prayer routine. And this is a routine that doesn't get a lot of attention. A lot of people just sort of improvise when it comes to prayer. That they don't have a schedule. They don't have a prayer schedule. They don't have a prayer routine. They just kind of pray, go to church when they feel like it. And similar to oversleeping or not eating correctly or not exercising correctly, not having a prayer routine can really throw your day out of balance. And a lot of people aren't even aware that their day is maybe out of balance because of the lack of prayer and spiritual time that they give. So it's always important to make time for God. To have a routine that is God focused, that is centered on Jesus, Mary, the Holy Trinity, to make that part of your day and not just an afterthought. And I think what you'll see is when you do that, maybe some of the unbalanced aspects of your day might be a little bit smoother, a little bit more peaceful, a little bit happier. So it's good to have routines that help you work towards short-term and long-term goals. So what am I going to do today to get ready for the day? But also routines that help achieve long-term goals. Like, what do I want to work towards? For a few months from now, or a few weeks from now, or a few years from now. So it's good to have a balance of goals in your routine, both short-term and long-term. And you really need to have it. You can write it down if you need to, because you're just going to forget. I don't know how many times I tell myself, oh yeah, I'll remember to call that person, or I'll remember to send out that email, and I don't write it down and things like that, and I just forget. And it's the same thing with prayer. Oh yeah, no, I'll remember to pray. I'll remember to pray. And of course, the day gets busy, and the next thing you know, it's 11 p.m. at night, and you think, oh my gosh, I was going to, stop by the church today and spend some time in prayer, and where did the day go? I completely forgot. So routines help fight that, because it's part of your schedule, it's part of the day, it's like a fixed pillar that doesn't move, and that's what you want with your prayer life, is something that doesn't get forgotten about, or something that doesn't get moved as other priorities come up. So let's take a look at my prayer routine, and I have some comments to say. Now, I'm not saying that this routine is perfect. I'm not even saying that I stick to it all the time, but it's what I try to do every day. Your routine might look different. In fact, I hope it does. You have to find the things that inspire you, the things that bring you peace, the things that really help you bring God into your day. And it may be different than mine. But let's just take a look at what I do. So first thing in the morning, alarm clock goes off. I'm usually the first one up in the household. And the first thing I do is I walk into the living room and I start praying the rosary. It's a big surprise. This is RosaryMeds.com. I don't think it's going to be a big shock to anyone that the rosary is part of my prayer routine. And it's important. There's a whole lot of literature, a whole lot of church teachings on the power and the importance of the rosary. And I've written about it and I've talked about it before. But let's take a look at why do I pray the rosary first thing in the morning. Well, it makes God the priority of my day. Okay, the first thing I do in the morning is establish that relationship with God. Okay, it tries to I want to build my day off of a sound foundation, and you can't get a sounder, more stable, more firm foundation than having God talk to you, having a conversation with God through rosary meditation. I try to do it first thing in the morning when the house is quiet, when it's still, before I get busy on other things, because that silence is important. Not just the silence, like the physical silence in the house, but also that silence in my head. As the day goes on and things start to happen, I start to read emails, I start to talk to people, and phone calls, go to work and get busy. My mind fills up with all these questions. They fill up with all these, sort of day-to-day tasks and responsibility. Oh, I got to remember to go to the market later. I need to remember to take the trash out. I need to remember to do this and this and this and this and this and that. And, trying to pray the rosary with all that swirling around my head, I'm distracted. Okay, so before the day fills me up with, fills my mind up with all these tasks and responsibility, when I have a clean mind, so to speak, that's the best time for me to pray the rosary and to really meditate on those mysteries. It's like I'm an empty vessel in the morning, and I'm allowing God to fill me up with His grace, with His wisdom, and really direct my day. I'm letting God direct my day. So it's getting the day off to a good start with the rosary. So then, the rest of the house wakes up, and we're getting kids ready for school, making breakfasts, making lunches, that type of stuff. So at some point in there, I like to take out my Bible and read my Bible verses. So I'm reading a Bible in a year. So every day I have an Old Testament reading, actually 2 Old Testament readings and a New Testament reading. And I usually like to get my cup of coffee, sit down either at the kitchen table while my kids are eating breakfast, or go to the living room and sit on the couch and read and meditate on the Bible readings. And this is important. I know I've said this before, but it's the Bible is so much richer when you read it regularly, when you get more exposure to it than just Sunday Mass. When you can read it day after day and really follow the narrative, really follow the plot, so to speak, of the various books. It's a much richer experience when you do that. And I'm sticking with it. I'm on day like 237 or whatever of the year, so I'm year's coming to an end, and so far I have stuck with it, and I will have finished the entire Bible in a year. And next year I'll probably do the same thing with the Catechism of the Catholic Church, is I'll probably read a few pages every day, and in a year's time, hopefully have read the entire Catechism. And then after that, the next year after that, I don't know. I'm sure I'll find some encyclicals or some other book, or maybe I'll revisit the Bible again and read that every morning. But this is what I'm going back to what I said earlier about having your routines be both serving short-term goals, like how's this going to help me, or how's this going to get me set for today, but also long-term goals, like I'm going to just nibble a bit of the Bible every day or a bit of the Catechism every day. I'm just going to read a little bit, and over a year I will have completed this. So I always like to have that mix of short-term goals and long-term goals in my prayer routine. So then now, because it's fall, I drop the boys off at school, and I take advantage of the fact that the church is right there, right next to the school, because it's a parish school. And so I drop the kids off, and then I walk into the church and I pray. And usually it's me and maybe 2 or 3 other people just praying silently in front of the Blessed Sacrament, in front of the tabernacle. And that's where I might do a little bit more Bible reading. So, I talked about my Bible in a year, but there's also like the daily readings, and I'll take out my phone, open up my Mass reading app, and my Scripture reading app, and read the readings for the day and the daily prayers and the meditations and whatnot on that. And also just have some free time in front of the Blessed Sacrament to just talk to God, to pour out my concerns, my intentions, anything that is on my mind. Because by this point in time, unlike the morning where I might be not have a whole lot on my mind, by the time I get to church, I probably have a lot of concerns or anxieties that I want to pour out in front of Jesus at church. And if I'm really feeling ambitious, because then I'll maybe go for a walk, because there's a park nearby, and I'll go for a walk around the park. And by the time I get back in front of the church, daily Mass might be starting. And I had a priest tell me just the importance of attending Mass more often than just on Sunday. There's so many benefits, there's so many graces poured out in the Mass and receiving the Eucharist. Why not take advantage of it? So if my time allows, I do want to attend Mass. I haven't been great at it lately. Work's been busy and whatnot, and this is what I mean by, when you establish a routine, it's good to really stick to it, because I haven't been sticking to daily Mass, and because of that, it gets pushed off. So if I would do something more firmly, like, okay, Tuesdays and Thursdays are absolute Mass days, and I'm not going to push those off. No, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm always going to go to Mass. If I do something like that, I think I could stick to it, because when I just say, oh, if there's time to go to Mass, then I will, and what happens is it gets pushed off. So that's a routine that I need to better establish, and I'm working on that. So look at that. So we have rosary, we have Bible, we have prayer in front of the Blessed Sacrament, possibly Mass. I've done all of that before my like work day even begins, and that's great. I feel like I've accomplished something in my day, and it's not even 9 a.m. But at least I can look back and say, if anything, no matter how this day has developed, I've accomplished something. I accomplished a rosary. I accomplished my Bible readings. I accomplished daily Mass. So every day I have a sense of accomplishment, which is great. It's not always easy. It's requires some sacrifice. It requires some rearranging of priorities. So I have to wake up early, which may mean I need to go to bed earlier. I can't just stay up late at night and then expect to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and pray the rosary. I have to plan for this. I have to arrange my sleep schedule so that I can wake up early and pray the rosary and read the Bible, and amongst other things. So, but it's important. So we just have to prioritize things appropriately. And to me, doing this prayer routine it's a priority, and that means I have to schedule sleep or my work schedule and things like that around it. But it's totally worth it. That getting the day off on the right start, it's worth it. This morning prayer, it gives me strength, it gives me patience, it gives me a sense of peace to face the day. So I can't always change what's going to happen during the day, but I can change my attitude. I can change how I approach the challenges of the day, and conquer whatever comes my way. Or if not conquer, at least endure whatever comes my way throughout the day. So there's a saying, I don't know who said it. I think it's just one of those generic sayings that you should work smarter, not harder. And to me, praying in the morning is working smarter. You're integrating, you're cooperating, you are letting God into your life, and you're letting Him help you throughout the day. You're getting help from God, from Jesus, Holy Spirit, Mary, the angels, and the saints throughout your day. You're assembling the team, if you will, in the morning, and they will help you during the day face those challenges. And they want to help you. They're there to help you. They want nothing more than for you to be in God's grace all the time. And so they want to help. So why not take their help? Why not face the day with this whole spiritual team behind you? You're just making your day harder by not integrating the Mary and the angels and the saints and Jesus into your day. So what does the rosary tell us about all this? Well, I'm talking about getting spiritual help, and I always think about and meditate on the fifth glorious mystery, which is the coronation of Mary in heaven. Mary wants to help us. She is Queen of Heaven. She is there to lead us to her Son. She actively wants us to come to her so that she can help us bring us closer to her Son. Okay, and just think about all the apparitions over the centuries where Mary has appeared, and she has a singular focus, which is to bring us to Jesus. We just have to reach out to her and ask her to help, intercede for us, to help her guide us to her Son. And that's what we're doing when we are praying regularly, when we pray the rosary regularly, when we go to Mass regularly, when we read the scriptures, is we are reaching out to Mary and the saints and angels to help us get closer to her Son, to get into his grace. So I want you to think about that whenever you meditate on the fifth glorious mystery of the Rosary. The other mystery to think about is the fifth luminous mystery. I talked about going to Mass. I talked about going to an empty church and just praying quietly in an empty, quiet church. And the Blessed Sacrament's right there in the tabernacle. And Jesus is there before us, and he's just waiting for us alone in that church a lot of the times. He's just waiting for us to come and talk to him. This is one of the great mysteries and also the great cornerstone of Catholic teaching, is that Jesus is fully present in the Eucharist, and him in the form of the Blessed Sacrament, it's no different than if he was just sitting there as a person in the pew of the church. Now, if you heard on the news that Jesus in human form, he was going to be at, your local church, at your local parish, and he was going to be there and taking questions and answers and healing people and things like that, of course you would go and attend. I don't know anyone who wouldn't make time to see Jesus face to face. Well, that's what we're getting when we walk into the church and the Blessed Sacrament is there, the tabernacle is there. It's the same experience. I know it may not seem like the same experience, and it's difficult to equate, Jesus in the form of the Eucharist and Jesus the person as being the same person, as being, that they are the same. But that is exactly what the Catholic Church teaches. That is what we profess. That is what we believe. So going to a church and praying before the Blessed Sacrament, attending adoration if you can, it's us having time with Jesus as if he was there in human form face to face. And why not take advantage of that? Again, he wants to help us. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to be close to him. So why not take advantage of that? So think about that in the fifth luminous mystery, in the institution of the Eucharist, and how the Eucharist is the real presence of Jesus Christ. All right. So those are two rosary mysteries, the fifth glorious mystery and the fifth luminous mysteries, to think about when we think about our daily prayer routine. Again, it's just so important. Since I've gotten into this routine, I don't want to go back. It's like that exercise high that people have when you exercise regularly and you just feel better physically. Praying in the morning, it makes you feel better spiritually. And when you feel better spiritually, you actually do feel better emotionally. You do feel better physically as well. So it really is like a cornerstone. And it should be a cornerstone of your day, is establishing these prayer routines. So that's just a little bit of my morning, a little bit of my day. Hopefully you either have a prayer routine all set up and you're following it and you're seeing similar benefits. And if you're not, try it. Try small. I talked about going to church, praying the rosary, reading the Bible, attending Mass, etc., etc. You start with just one of those. I'm gonna just throw out there, start with the rosary. Yes, this is RosaryMeds.com after all. But start with just the rosary. Pick a time, pick a place, stick to it. Don't just do it one day and then forget. But stick to it for a week. Stick to it to a month, and then you can add to it. Add the Bible reading, add going to church, add attending Mass, add to that routine and build it up. But start small, but be consistent about it. Follow through with it, because when we have these routines and they just become part of our day, it cascades. It makes the whole day goes smoother, it's more predictable, you're less stressed, and ultimately you have a closer relationship with God. And that's important. So that's all I got for this episode. Thank you for listening. And again, remember that a rosary a day keeps the devil away. Thank you and God bless.